Hello everybody, welcome back, and I am TheChornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield again, okay? So, we're going to talk about how much of a letdown this freaking game is, and what it should have been, alright? So first off, we already discussed how Dynamax is a ridiculous feature, right? I already said that and went into huge depth with it in the last video. But now we're going to more in depth about why every other aspect of Sword and Shield are absolutely just like lazy. Like Game Freak's just lazy. Like they keep reusing assets from prior games. Like the graphics don't get better, the animations don't get better. Like it's the same thing. Like maybe they add a few more, but that's it. Like very minuscule. Like we still have the same like moves that have the same animations from years ago. Like, even in the presentation, like the double kick in the E3 presentation was the same animation that it was back in like X and Y, which was like several years ago. So why are they not improving? And even more so, they are not even adding all the Pokemon in this one. So they're being lazy by not adding all the Pokemon. And I don't care that much about maybe adding all of them, but they better add all of them later. But especially after the fact that they had Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, where they already moved on to the consoles, right? So they should have just like at that point when they're making these next games, which every single region they've always done, is they brought all the Pokemon available to the table in each single game. But why won't they do it in this game? Well, they're getting lazy. And two, they keep talking about how, maybe they're gonna help the expressions of, the Pokemon that they are going to add. Well, it's freaking ridiculous. You look at the demos and, like, they just stand in place like they always have. Like, there's no difference between now and Pokemon Sun and Moon and Pokemon XY, Pokemon freaking Black and White. Like, there's no difference. Like, the Pokemon's always standing in place. They don't move around the field. There's no new animations. Like, barely nothing. And it's just, it's sad. Like, the graphics don't improve. Like, their feature, they should just kept going with Mega Evolutions. Like, literally, everyone just said, like, could you please just keep working on Mega Evolutions? Because that was actually an interesting concept and feature, and that should be expanded more upon. But no, they had something ridiculous and uncreative, which was Dynamax. So let's just make the Pokemon bigger. Oh, this is such a creative idea. Like, no, stop. Like, that's so, like, lazy, too, because you're not going in and designing new Pokemon for the evolutions, right? You're not, it's ridiculous. Like, just making them bigger? No, I'm sorry. Like, I already went to this whole rant about this in the prior Dynamax video, but I just had to bring it up again. Plus, they're not adding Pokemon in this again, which I would let go if they really improved on graphics and the moves and, like, the animations and everything, and allowed Pokemon to move around the field and have more expression, but there's no difference. And if there is, it's very, very minuscule. Like, you could just look at the demos and the gameplay that's been shown already. There's barely any difference between the battles of Sword and Shield versus the visual display of the battles of any other game. Except for maybe, like, of course, like, maybe, the old school games, right? So they actually, like, bob and jump up and down maybe in place, but that's it. They don't really move. Even when they're using a move, they have like one animation to do that move, but they don't even move across the field. Like, I feel like battles should be so much more engaging and so much more like visually appealing. Like, they should, kind of like the anime where they just like move around and like to different sectors of the battlefield, and like with each move. I know that would take a lot of work for all that animation, but like right now, Sword and Shield is moving backwards, and they've barely made any improvements, and anything they have done, it's a step backwards. So what Sword and Shield should have done is, like, yes, maybe that would have been too much to add all that animation and to improve upon the graphics and stuff, but the fact that they aren't putting all the Pokemon in it, and they're reusing assets from the prior games, like, you really start to question, like, what have they done that's improved? There's nothing. And if there's anything, it's just very, very minuscule. Like I said, it's just, that's why I'm upset with Sword and Shield. It's just, it's the same thing every single game. it's the same thing. The Pokemon don't move around. They stay in place. The game is the same. It's 8 gym leaders most of the time, and then like the league, and then that's it. And then they have like some sort of end game. Then they have an evil team, right? And I wonder what the evil team's gonna be in Sword and Shield, obviously, but it's like the same thing. So you go, the whole main story is getting to the league, right? But then there's also like the other main story, which is the evil team, and you have to take them out. But it's the same thing over and over and over again. Like the same like kind of structure to like the story every single Pokemon game. Same visuals, same everything, and it's just like I love Pokemon. Like I'll buy it because I mean I'm a Pokemon fan and I like the Pokemon games and they're fun, and I'm sure Sword and Shield will be somewhat fun. It's just saddening to see that they aren't doing anything. Like they aren't improving. They're just like cash grabbing. Like they literally just don't make that much effort to make an improved game. Like they go really, really slow on scaling up anything. And that's what's really, really bothering me. So, like, honestly, Sword and Shield should have been a game where they improved on the graphics. They improved, because it's on console now. They could have done a whole lot more, like, visually. So, graphics, I'm talking about animations, artwork, even the Pokemon designs now, like, so, for example, Score Bunny. Like, there's been so many bunnies, okay, or little, you know, rats or mouses, right, that all look the same. They just have like a different variant, and they just like they're artistically a little bit different. But Pokemon is getting kind of lazy, like even with their like designing new Pokemon. Like even if you look at the sheep, it's a sheep. Like there's nothing really unique about it. Like it's like, I'm sorry, like I know the Gen 1, that was Gen 1 though. That was like the first generation. And I could let that one slide because, you know, they were just creating Pokemon, and they could slide in regards to design, right? But like even like these new designs where like I look at the legendaries, it just looks like they really put no effort. Like they literally just slap things together to like, oh, this kind of looks cool, guess we could kind of do this. Like Pokemon, they just don't seem interesting in their designs, like or really that unique. And of course every now and then they come out with like a new Pokemon that looks like unlike the rest, and like it does look really awesome. And so, like, they do some Pokemon that are truly unique, but most of the time, like, I'm looking at all these turtles and sheeps and bunnies and dogs, like, over and over and over again, and it just, like, and they're just different typings, and, like, I don't feel like creativity's there for Sword and Shield. And I really think that they should have added new game modes, new features regarding just the animations of the moves, of the Pokemon moving, maybe moving around the battlefield, make it more anime, like the cartoon where it's like a lot more diverse and like it's just exciting to watch. But no, like, you literally press a button for what attack you want it to do, and then the Pokemon jumps up and down, and then slaps the enemy, and the enemy's like, ugh, and gets a little bit of a recoil, and that's it. That's, like, every single freaking move. Like, and that's why I'm just so upset with the way that Pokemon's progressing. It's just so slow, and Sword and Shield should have been so much more. It should have been, especially since it's on console now, no longer handheld, it should have just broke all former traditions of the way the game has been, and should have just been something completely visually just like upgraded, you know, revamped. So that's my little rant right there. Honestly, post a comment section below you guys' thoughts and feelings. I kind of went on and on and on about every little aspect that I hate about this game. Like it's like, I'm sure it's gonna be fun. I'm still gonna get it because it's Pokemon, and I'm sure it's gonna have some fun aspects. But like, it's aspects that we've seen before. Like it's just another Sun and Moon. It's another, like, it's just another game that's the same as every single other one. It's just the art is a little different. Like, it's a different paint. You know what I mean? That's all it's different. It's like a little different paint, but everything else is the same. It's just a reskin of Sun and Moon, or Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Like, there's nothing else that's different. And they add like one new thing, which is Dynamax, which is the most ridiculous feature I've ever seen ever. So ladies and gentlemen, post in the comment section below their thoughts and feelings. Are you actually going to end up getting Pokemon Sword and Shield? Is it just because, you know, it's Pokemon, it's nostalgia, I have to get it kind of thing? Of course, I'll probably end up getting it, because I guess I can't really fully, you know, critique this game without actually playing it and witnessing it for what it will end up providing. But from what I've seen so far, it's lackluster. It's just a terrible thing that's happening right now in regards to just everyone expected so much just because it's on a console now, but they took the backseat. They took a step back in deleting Pokemon. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love your faces. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Post in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings. As always, I love your faces. Can't wait to see you. Make sure you subscribe if you have not yet. I love your faces, and peace off! Thank you very much.